books along the road, just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathered along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Valdes!
1862 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Away we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again tonight as the transfer update. Sure, I've got Tony and Mason. What's going on, people?
You all right, John? Yeah, not too bad, mate.
Big up everyone in the chat as well. Giving to you guys. So, hope you had a fantastic day. And if you like the video, like what you see, please give it an honor. Hit that like, subscribe button. If you'd like to become a member, then click on the join button, 99p. And also, I shall be doing a competition to win a match ticket for Newcastle United against Bournemouth. I bought one the day, and I'll be giving away that ticket. And to do that, you have to become a member. But we're doing a draw. Once the ticket comes through, I shall be doing that in the next couple of days, maybe within 7 days. So keep your eyes peeled for that. To win the ticket, then you have to become a member. Just click on the member. You never know, you may win. And if you like to super chat, then just click on the $sign. Just give what the channel's worth, and that's down to you. No pressure whatsoever. Subscribers first, and that's the most important thing. Before you go on to main topic today, we've got Jay Sweet. He's always first. Big up to you, mate. Big up to Tony the Red. It's a stream on for United game and neat. Yeah, I'm not going to tell where it is, mate. You have to look around for that, mate. So I'm not going to tell you on here because my child could be taken. Dude, big up to Tom. Evening to you. What a game yesterday. And big up to Shira Julie. Hi, guys. Been a while. Welcome back, mate. What's that on? Great news. Rumors kicking around the Pedro, Madison, and Paqueta as well. What a performance yesterday. It sure was. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Fantastic performance from the lads. It was, Tony. What a game indeed. Let's see if we keep that up. Top 6 with new Rumat signing. Great game in Stuart and Leeds, Liverpool versus United. And I love that. We just went to a tour. We didn't panic. We went 1-0, dude. We're not afraid. Love it. It just goes to show. Have a go. Take it from there. Big up to Ken. Well, good. Good news early, please. Thank you very much indeed. Fabrizio Romano, Pedro Newcastle, done deal. Well, Craig Hope's come out and said that as far as things go, it remains the same. We're going to talk about that as well. And that's from Leslie. Terry says it's true. Big up to I Like Coffee. Mace said hi to you, by the way. I eat, lads. Can't wait for next game. That's Andrew. He's posted it just now. We're going to share the screen. Pension the Toon dealers agreed. That's in Jay Sweet. John's intro makes me dance every single time. I tell you what, get those dance shoes on, my guy. I tell you what, I got clubbing with you. From 52, I'm too old guy clubbing anyway. Mind you, I went to one in Pontypridd for an hour with me the other day. Even
Never too old, John.
Is that right? Do you like my boogie, by the way? Boogie, baby. Even last match, so look how we beat me. I'll tell you what, let's have a look. For your Pedro, 25 mil, 5 million add-ons, talking of that. Gordon, I think we'll get Pedro. Big up to Tony again on Leslie. And Ronald, big up to Ronald B. Who's the Watford star we're going to get? Joao Pedro. Loads of comments coming through. Thank you very much indeed. Any videos or watch along plan for Tramiak game on Wednesday? I'm doing the warm-up game for the watch along. I don't do the watch alongs now, mate. I will be in the future, but not in the moment in time. And reason why I kind of say it on here, we'll get Pedro for Watford. Hi, Tony, and hi, Coffee, and Pedro's of Geordie. Good evening, lads, and Gary D. And everyone said hi to everyone as well. 30 mil from Ronald, Morganton, and Mag. Right, then, we're going to start with you, Tony. And it looks like, right, for conflicting different reports and seeing that, especially Fabrizio Romano, saying that the deal's been agreed on a 6-year contract, mate. And different reports are saying they're still in talks. Sammy as well, I think it's from the Mail as well, saying that talks are still going, deal's very close. Tony, who do you believe, mate?
Well, I always believe, well, Fabrizio Romano's very normally quite reliable, and he doesn't get a lot wrong, if I'm honest. And if he does get anything wrong, he always puts his hands up and says, I got that wrong. But 9 times out of 10, he gets that right. So, no, I mean, I suppose the best time to wait is once it's officially announced by the club. But I'm sure things have probably progressed. Who knows? I mean, I know he was pulled out the game with a supposed injury. Supposedly had ankle pain. To be honest with you, has he been pulled out? Has he had a medical over the weekend that nobody knows about? Apparently, the Pozzo family from Watford were there yesterday at St James's Park. So, I didn't clearly see them on TV, but then they didn't really pan into the director's area much. But yeah, so yeah, we just have to wait. I mean, I suppose in the next day or two things will unfold and we'll find out more, maybe by tomorrow. But we just have to wait and see. But if it is, then yeah, we've got him. And it's saying 30 million euros, so that's probably around about 25 million quid.
Yeah, £25 million plus £5 million of add-ons on top. I don't think we're done yet. And we got Mason as well. Your take on Joao Pedro before I do that, right? I mean, just got a Twitter message, right? Basically says who? Not Amlagua, just a note myself. Well, my advice to you, my guy, if you go on to Fabrizio Romano, check on his tweet. He's normally on par, mate. So believe what you will, man. I'm not ITK, right? Fabrizio Romano, for me, is the best guy who gets known things right. So you have a go Fabrizio. Anyway, Mason, your take on Joao Pedro. I mean, different reports are saying deal's been done. Some are saying that still talks ongoing. Who do you believe, man?
Well, obviously, I know. Obviously, my 2 reliable sources are Keith Downie and Romano. And Romano has had said something, but Keith Downie hasn't. So Keith Downie must be sorting that one out, because he works for Sky, who would have one of the biggest news outlets out there.
Mm-hmm.
And with him being out on Saturday against Preston with a supposed ankle pain, that happened with Ismail Assar as well. And then after the game, he was supposed to be going to have a medical at Villa, but obviously that fell through at the last minute this morning because Gerrard had second thoughts. But if that could happen with Joao Pedro, we just have to say about that. But if we're getting men, it'd be good for him to play in the Premier League again with different players. But no disrespect to Watford, they've got backup anyways with Manja, Bayo, and the Argentinian who I forgot his name. But they've still got cover there. They've still got quality up the top. But
yeah.
I will be happy for getting him because he's young, Brazilian. Obviously, if he leaves Watford, there's going to be no Brazilian players because that's Sam Yaz went to Mexico. So if he comes here, he'll have two Brazilian players to settle around with, and get to know the place very well and the club very well and some of the players, and hopefully you'll work well with Callum Wilson as well. Obviously, the performance yesterday in the first half up until the hamstring niggle just shows you he needs a little bit of help with him. Chris Wood, I've give up on him. I just really do give up on him after yesterday. I know he had a few little bit good chances, but for me, I give up with Chris Wood. I'll be happy if we get Joao Pedro in.
Yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. Sefton, thank you so much, mate. I appreciate that, man. You just carry on, like, that'd be brilliant. Helps the
John,
users. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just share this a moment for you. And this is from Fabrizio Romano, so you can see that on screen now.
Okay.
Joao Pedro to Newcastle, done deal. Here we go. Full agreement is Watford now accepted. Final official bid with £25 million fixed fee with £5 million in add-ons. Deal will also include a sell-on clause for 10%. Personal terms already. Being told contract till 2028. And that's come from Fabrizio Romano.
There you have it, people. There you have it. Breaking news.
And that was at 6:30 he broke that.
Right. He normally gets it right anyway. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think clubs like Watford should come out and actually tell us. And I also believe as well Newcastle should come out and tell us as well and let our fans know what is going on. Do you know what I mean? And if it's not true, tell us. Not just our side, also the Watford side as well. And if Watford comes out first and say we agreed to sell Joao Pedro to Newcastle, that's good enough for us. Then we could do something about that.
I'll tell you what, John. The only thing I'm going to criticise about Fabrizio Romano, and I'm probably just being a little bit picky there, is he needs to get his colours the right way around. It's black and white, not white and black. Sorry, Fabrizio. Because he's got the white there and the black there. So yeah, you should have had it the other way around. But yeah, I'm not gonna have a go at the guy over that.
Do you know what?
Anyway, I just thought I'd stick that on.
Thanks, man. Thank you. He's Italian, by the way. So in Italian, it's a bianconero. That means that's Italian for black and white. Bianconeri. So that's Italian way. So big up to Sefton. Thank you for much indeed, mate. You carry on, mate. Big up to Rexy Leicester fan. A club could be up for sale, I believe, but we'll see what happens along. Tony Loretta, I always wanted a young manager potential that can play all across the front line. That's what you've got him. You know what it is? It's called Project Youth. I feel like League One, aren't I? Project Youth. Our performance against Man City will encourage some awesome players to join us. Absolutely. Musa Diaby, are you listening, mate? Think about it, my guy. Dan Ashworth wanted Pedro when he was at Brighton. Looks like he's getting this man to the Toon. I think that's a cracking buy. Newcastle becoming like Wolves, but with Brazilians. Wow, that's fair enough, Raiden. Also kicking up on Twitter, Madison, 50 million up front. Less than got until the weekend. Spurs can compete. Any truth in that? Actually, mate, Spurs can compete. If Conte wants him, leave him back in. That is the difference. And Conte will make sure of that as well. So, look, at the end of the day, Leicester's on the pressure. My thing is, I'll go back to you, Tony. If they sell Fofana, Madison will not be allowed to leave the club.
Well, that's what they're saying. But will Chelsea go back in for Fofana? I'm not so sure. Obviously, now they're short of a centre back. Now Koulibaly got a double yellow yesterday.
Yeah.
But technically, if they do go for Fofana, but there again, it all depends because I said yesterday, John, if Leicester are sitting in the bottom three because they go into Chelsea on Saturday, big game. If they get beat off Chelsea, they stay in that bottom three. And you come up to next week, which is the last week of the transfer window. The transfer window slams shut 11 p.m. next Thursday. Now, if they're in that bottom three at the weekend, Madison might start getting restless because he may think, oh, hang on, I'm going to be playing in a relegation battle if I don't get out this club. And he might be wanting to move. So, who knows? Things could develop next week. You never know. I'm not saying the Arsenal before anybody shoots me down or anything like that. I'm only saying it as in a perspective way. I'm not saying it's going to actually happen that way, but I look at the way players think, and the likes of Madison, who's an ambitious player, wants to get back in the England team, wants to be in that World Cup. Now, if he's fighting a relegation battle, he's got no chance of getting back in the England team. And, so at the end of the day, you've got to balance things out. It could be that Madison's up for grabs next week. Who knows? Tillemans is another one that could be up for grabs next week. As I said yesterday, he might be up for 25 million. Next week, he could be available for 15 million. And I'm just saying that as a ballpark figure because he's only got 1 year left on his contract. And if Leicester don't sell him at the end of this window, he walks away free next season. So they've got to balance it out and think, right, how do we do this, you know, and how do we get rid? So Tielemans could be available for a cheap price as well. So let's just see what happens, and let's watch the Leicester front on that, because, and we all know that Rodgers is under pressure because a lot of Leicester fans now want him out. So, but then you can't shoot the guy down, because you can't say he's got to be sacked because he's not doing well. But then he can't buy players. So what's he supposed to do? He's just got to work with what he's got. But let's see what happens. And like I say, the window throws up funny things in the last week, because some teams want players out and want deals done. And players go for a lot cheaper than they were at the beginning of the window. Like, say, for instance, Moussa Diaby might have been worth 60 million at the beginning of the window.
Yeah.
But if he wants to leave Leverkusen next week, you may get him for half that, for 30 million. You know, deals are crazy on the last week. So it's going to be a fun few, a good 10 days or whatever it is left for the transfer window. And it's going to be interesting. So, you know, we watch this space with interest, with very much interest.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be plenty of twists and turns on this one, do you know what I mean? And we're just going to wait with bated breath, because at the end of the day, we could go in, we could wait one big signing that we haven't heard of before. Bang, smash, get in there, do you know? Wood done what Eddie asked him to do, settle the game. And let's see with Tony, talk shout up pay, also saying Pedro was a done deal. Right wing central mid with a bonus, and we definitely could do another striker, by the way. That's tighter down the long term. So that's how you spell Joao. That's how you spell it, Tony. Question for you all: how does signing Joao Pedro impact Callum Wilson to get more game time? For me, I think they're going to find another place somewhere. He could play on the right side of midfield, Martin. In my opinion, he could play anywhere across the front. He could play as a 10. He could play as a left, right, and up front, and a 10 as well. So he could play on the right. But Eddie will make that decision, by the way. But you never know. We should see. Anthony, big up to Anthony. What a game yesterday. Who's Man City are beatable? They could have been beatable, but we can see that we tossed a 3-1 lead away. But you are right. They can be beatable. Play like that, they will not win the Champions League. John, they won't come out of it. It would be top-rated promotion third. They will want to show him off. Basically, what he's saying is saying that they're not going to announce it. It's what Watford do. Paqueta, link again. Oh my God, been doing for the last 4, 5, 7, 8 months now. Being reported by Team Talk, 90 Min, and few others. We and see. So we are the lads. Brilliant news. That's Tony. Told something to Martin. Big up to Mark Keynes. Joao Pedro, Newcastle, Dundee, and here we go. Full agreement, and that's exactly what Mr. Romano has done. And yeah, we heard that as well. Thank you for that, Mark. Appreciate that, mate. Here we go. Big up to AJ. Now, Newcastle Rise finally feels real for me after Sunday's brilliant game. We were magnificent, were we? Zahn may also be available to do Villa 5 and 3. I think it's injury, Mason. I think he's got an injury. Is that right?
He was out. He didn't play. It was the same with Joao Pedro. I seen this morning, Gerrard had second options and just want to buy him. I heard it's an injury. I seen that he pulled out of the game against Preston due to an injury, but I seen this morning that Gerrard had second options, but I just don't understand why he's had second options, because he's lost Traore for a season and he needs a replacement sooner the better.
Yeah. Yeah, you could be right there, mate. Absolutely right there. All evening, lads. Leicester City fan here, unfortunately, but we all lose. We're on the booze. Looking forward to United lose tonight against Liverpool. ASM really wants to get in the World Cup squad too. He needs to do more and more and more. We ought to see 10 more of those, but I don't think he will, because is it that guy from Leipzig? Is it Kukunu? Kuku. Well, if I pronounce it right, I think he's a decent player, by the way. And Gleisman plays there, Kone plays there. I think ASM's sure to get in the World Cup. He's 25 now, but if he does get in this World Cup, I just can't see him getting into the squad as well. We're going to sign Paqueta. Andy, I think it's your first time. Could be wrong. Please hit the subscribe button, mate. Thank you very much. Big up to all of me mods, Jules. Hope you're okay for Norway. Tony loves Tielemans. I think he ended up going to Arsenal, to be quite honest with you. on the last day. Still needs 2 more players in my opinion, and that would be an amazing way to finish the window. At the minute, it's a 7 out of 10 window for me, mate. 7 out of 10 window. And go on, Tony.
Sorry, John. Yeah, there's an interesting piece I saw earlier today as well. The Ramos deal hasn't gone away yet because Newcastle are very much interested still. And I think it's a case of they're just waiting for the Champions League second leg. But they're saying any bid that's north of £35 million will secure his signature. So, and Newcastle are very, very interested in him because obviously he's 21 and he doesn't take up a squad place either. So, and he'd be the perfect backup for Wilson as well. They're saying Southampton's there as well. Wolves are not in the race for him, apparently. They've pulled back on that. So it's leaving the door open for Newcastle and Southampton. And I'm not being funny. If he has the choice between 2 clubs, he'd come here rather than Southampton, because why would you want to go to Southampton? You know, so I don't think he'd go there. But yeah, that's the word going around, that we're still in the hunt. We haven't put any official bidding apparently, but we're still there. So it's a case of watch your space for that one.
I think I can go to the last day of the transfer window, to be fair, mate. I really, really do. But now we're watching that with good interest as well. We might get that Benfica FM back on our chat if that deal goes through. Big up to Jim, big up to you, mate. Hope you're well. We're all fine. And Tony the Mags, tools. And Andy, let's have a look at this one. Sorry, Andy, I missed your comment there, mate. I'll get back into that one. We didn't find out. Bring Manu to Mbuno till a few days before the window ended. I really hope we get Paqueta in a similar type. And not going to say miss. Who would be dropped with it? Pedro. Murphy be on the way. Just get Murphy out of the club, by the way, mate. Get him out. He ain't good enough for Newcastle. Put him on right wing if he can get a winger, otherwise back up to Wilson. Couldn't remember Mason's name earlier. You do now, mate. Watford is Joao. I think he's right-footed. Yeah, he's right-footed. Watford have not accepted Newcastle's initial offer 25 million for Joao Pedro as a mark. Yes, there's 5 million in add-ons, but only if they consistently qualify for the Champions League. Newcastle need to offer more. Now, this is winds us up. Not you, Mark. This is winds us up, Tony, right? They were prepared to sell Ismail Sarr for 25 million quid, right? But they sold Dennis for 20 million quid to Forest, right? And now they want more money for this guy, right? For Pedro, for 25 million. They want more money, right? Watford needs to be careful here, because if they could try to be greedy, right? And I've got 96 people watching live, by the way. Thanks so much indeed. Smash the like button, by the way, people, if you're watching it. We're going to pull out, but I don't know if that's true. Is that true, Tony? Watford has not accepted 25 mil?
I've not seen that report anywhere. I've only seen what Fabrizio Romano put on earlier, which I shared on the screen. But no, I've not seen that. And I mean, I can see why Watford want us to offer a bit more, because he's only 20 and obviously he's got a big future ahead of him.
Oh, don't matter.
But no, exactly. And
Not being greedy, Watford.
But you can't be too greedy, because that's when we'll just say, do you know what? It doesn't matter. Let's move on. And then, but I can't see it, to be honest. I mean, if Fabrizio Romano's put out there that it's already a done deal, then... So I don't know where this guy's heard this from. If Mark's in the chat still, can you put on where you've actually heard this from? So we can check it out, because obviously I've not seen it anywhere. The only ones I've seen is like TalkSport and all that, saying it's all almost done. So yeah, if you don't mind, Mark, if you can pop it on the chat, mate, and then we can have a look and see where it's come from, because we've not seen anything like that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what as well, Tony, you touch on that as well. Mark, if you do that first, mate, thank you very much. That'd be fantastic. One thing I'm going to say as well, you're right, Tony. They need to be careful of Watford. They're going to lose out. They lost that on Ismail Sarr. They lost 25 million quid on them, sort of thing. They need to be careful here, because I tell you something now, right? You messing this how it's about. Once they pull out, you're done. It's as simple as that. But don't you dare come back to us again. I feel sorry for the kid, because he wants this move. And Watford are killing his career. It's as simple as that. And I don't know if we get on the one, but I tell you what, Watford, And I know these owners as well, right? His son is at Udinese as well. And I tell you what, don't wind them up, mind. Deschamps said in the case, says it's attitude problem. There you go. And talking to Phoenix, I think Tillemans will stay and leave on the free next season and go to Juve. I'd love to see him in Italian football, by the way. And no problem. So even Joao finally realised Sar's not a Premier League quality player. So many fans are not just wanting any player through the door. Wow. And if you get Ramos, so that'd be great. Just check Pedro's right footed. He's correct there. And big up to Louis. It's Louis van Gaal. Yay! The Dutchman.
The Dutchman.
Yeah, former Dutch manager, used to manage Barcelona, used to manage United, used to be, and he's still the coach of the national team. You're welcome to come on, mate, if you want to come on. And it's on this game that sure that prospective players just how serious Newcastle are about future success. What advertisement for the football, AJ? So I'm done deal according to Romano, that's a mark. Romano reported it done. That's pretty conclusive. And big up to Roy as well. Hope you're all right, mate. Hope you're fine. Cannot believe your son and a striker. Fabrizio Romano just tweeted, here we go. Lawrence, can you please hit the subscribe button, mate, if you can? That'd be brilliant. It's your first time, I believe. Thank you so much indeed. Done deal, 25 mil. Flying as well. Again, so many comments. I think it's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Luke Edwards, pouring cold water on it. Well, Luke Edwards is a guy you cannot take seriously at all whatsoever. I've always said I think the club should come out and tell us. Otherwise, that's only going to stop it. Simple as that. When it says there we go, that's usually right. Big up to Michel, by the way. I feel a tad underwhelmed on this signing. He's got potential, Michel, and I know we're not going to get Messi, we're not going to get Neymar, we're not going to get Lewandowski, right? But you never know. Eddie can turn this player into a great player. Have a look on Google, fair enough. And it's a good question on the future. Subscriptions, 99 people a bargain. Join this channel like I did. It's supposed John and Tony Sefton. Thank you so much indeed, man. Appreciate that. And touching on that as well, people, right? I bought myself a ticket for the Newcastle against Bournemouth game, right? So I'm going to do a competition very soon. To enter, you have to be a member, and it's only 99p. So if you'd like to enter the competition, maybe in a couple of days' time, in a week's time, right? Just join. Just click on the join button, and it's only 99p. I'm not asking for $4.99 or $8.99 or $12.99. It's just 99p to become a member on a monthly basis. And if you do that, you automatically in the competition as well. If you have a little think about that, then there you go. The options there for you. You know exactly what to do. Pedro has bags and bags of talent. You will see all the Watford fans say he's the best player they have seen, even over Charleston. And a flavor attitude prob doesn't go around buying toys or unknown kids common. I agree. Any predictions for tonight, John? I'm going to say, I think it's going to be close, but I think Liverpool just nick it.
4-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what I've got, 4-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Thing is, with when you were talking earlier about, like, obviously Emmanuel Dennis going, but as I said a while back, Emmanuel Dennis, when he left Watford, their players had a party in the dressing room because they were so pleased to get rid of him, because apparently he's a nightmare. He's got an attitude problem, and that shows you that's probably why we didn't go in for him, because he's obviously got an attitude problem somewhere, and Eddie Howe does not want a dressing room disrupted with somebody who's got attitude. So good luck to Forest on that one if that's the case. But yeah, obviously it's a bullet dodged, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Bullet dodged, by the way. No, his attitude is injured. I can understand that, but because of his attitude, we don't need players with a bad attitude at all whatsoever. Guys, I've got 108 people watching live. Please smash the like button. All you 108 people watching the show, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. It helps the channel to grow. And if everyone hits that, it's a record. And Denny's and Sar 24 gone 25. Pedro's 20 potential has higher ceiling, which means you pay more. Well, if they mess us about, then we pull out. They are going to be gutted. Certain right. 99-0 for Tony. Agreed, true. Just what you said. Ace is always giving back.
Be a cracking game, wouldn't it?
It's had a hell of a game. And I've got my guy at Billy.
Hey. It's better than George Riley. Oh, anybody's better than George Riley, Billy. Yeah, I totally agree, mate.
Exactly. I'll tell
Do
you
you
what,
remember George Riley?
I heard of him, I sure have. But, great guy. And Billy is a good guy as well. I tell you what, I should do like an hour with Billy sort of thing on the show. And I tell you what, that would be amazing. He's a cool guy as well. And Pedro can play across the front three, gives us good depth as well. And they got Jess Ram 3-0 to Liverpool. Hey Billy, Liverpool 8-0. even Grace said to us yesterday on the red. Grace. We have a court case one day.
Yeah.
Have a court case.
I mean, there's a lot of people in the chat are a bit like some people are saying they're underwhelmed by the Joao Pedro signing. Now, right. Now let's put things into perspective here, okay? So we have not had brilliant transfer windows over the years. Now all of a sudden we've had two good transfer windows. We had a great one in January, and we have another good one now in the summer. And I believe that'll finish off to being a great transfer window. And I've always said trust the process. And if people think they're underwhelmed by Joao Pedro, you've got to look. The guy is 20 years old. He's young. He's got time to develop. Nowhere near his peak yet. Look what Eddie Howe done with Joe Linton. Joe Linton couldn't hit a barn door playing up front, but he put him into a midfield position. And now he looks everything like the £40 million player we paid for him. So people need to sort of take a step back. And don't forget, Joao Pedro has been playing in a poor Watford team all last season. A team that went through 3 managers in one season. So you've got to put all that into perspective as well. He's going to come to a team. He's going to play for a manager who likes to play attacking football. And he's only going to get better, and he's going to thrive. He learned a lot under Bruno. He'll definitely learn stuff under Trippier as well, because Trippier will make sure he knows things. Like St. Maximum said yesterday on his interview that he listens to Kieran Trippier because Trippier gives him advice. So, at the end of the day, don't think, oh, we're getting this lad and he's a downgrade or whatever. Not at all. I mean, how many players do clubs buy? The likes of Liverpool, Man City. They bring in a 20-year-old for 30 million and they go on to be great players. So just because we're bringing them in, it doesn't mean to say it's a downgrade. It's a one for now and for the future. Plus, if he gets better and better, he can be with us for the next 7, 8, 9, 10 years even. So I just want to put that into a bit of perspective about that. Because like I say, we see people say this, that they're a bit underwhelmed by it, but I just think, no, don't be underwhelmed. Just be excited, be happy at what the club are doing. Be thankful that we've got owners that are spending money. Because don't forget, they're not just spending money on players. They've done the ground up, they've put a new pitch in, the training ground's getting vamped up as well. They want to go and look for a new multi-million-pound complex elsewhere. So the owners are doing a great job. So, just trust them, and I'm sure they're going to get it right. There might be 1 or 2 signings that come in that might not be great, and there might be total flops. Every club has that. We're all human at the end of the day. Can't get everything right. But you watch, the majority will get this right, and he will turn out to be a good player. I think he will anyway. And just give him a chance. Back him 100%, because that's what I'm doing.
Tony, I can't disagree with them, my guy. You're absolutely spot on again and again and again. And we'll listen to you there. Word for word, you're spot on. I want Ericsson to score first goal. Then he can pump 21, 10 on. He's a big game player, mind. We got to Mike Ballard. I hope that we're not pulling a Man U and Fortress on the same player as this late in the window. We might get stuck with a final deal. there signing. That is a gamble. Joao Pedro eventually for Newcastle close to 100 million. 100 million. Hey?
Got to be kidding, isn't he?
Where's he?
They really got the figures on Marky's son. Honestly,
I think you have somewhere. Somebody's telling Porky somewhere, but he's no. If it's a done, if Romano says it's a done deal, it's a done deal, and it's 25 million plus 5 million add-ons.
Yeah, exactly. If I compare Nunez to Joao, yes, disappointing, but I've seen fits on him, and he's really good and a dribbler and good at it as well as some tools. How would everyone hit the like button? Thank you, mate. Pedro Young and Wood develop under Hull. I'll be happy. It'd be better than Wood. Emerson Palermi to West Ham. Feel agree with Chelsea. 30 mil plus 2 on top. I think that's a decent signing for West Ham. Where's Tony? He has potential. What's funny about it, Billy, is a picture of me that I done my head when, like John did, when he said he had a season ticket to Stretford End.
Oh, John, you've been rumbled now.
Grace, if you're watching, can you help us, please? Do you think Grace will help us?
What are you doing in the Stratford End, John? I'm disappointed in you.
In the Stratford End. Evening, Sinclair, Guy and Jules, you're a busy man. He is indeed. Trace Thomas, Fennel, Fontaine, Wood, Jim. We go for it as well. Always Paul. Christian and Ali Maguire on the bench for Man U. They may win now. Wow. I tell you what, they'd be peed off about it. Go on 22 Beached. Slow and steady to win the Prem. That's in Jim. Well said to you, Tony. 30 for Joao. That's a lot of money. Do you think that's a lot of money, Mason?
Probably yes. Probably yes, just for a player who's only scored like 3 goals in the whole last season. One of them was against us, but I think Watford are going a bit greedy, because I would have, if I was like whoever's in charge of the transfers, I would have just accepted the £17.5 million bid, or was rejected last week, because that's the kind of bid for him or lower, either between 15 or 17 million. That's how much I would accept, because he's only scored 3 goals in the whole last season, which isn't good enough for a player. Yes, he's young, but if he comes to like Newcastle, and if he does well compared to when he was at Watford, his price tag will go up, because he scored a bucket load of goals. He's improved a lot. Obviously, when you said about Joe Linton, he's a much improved player in that area now. Joao Pedro will be the same, because he's worked under a bucket of managers. He's worked under Pearson, Croatian, Cisco, Ranieri, Hodgson, and then Rob Edwards. He's worked under 6 managers under 2.5 seasons at Watford. He'll come to Newcastle and work for a manager who isn't like the six of them managers who were Watford under his time. But he'll work on a better manager, because Ranieri wasn't good enough. Edwards just came up from League 2. Hodgson's finished. I don't know why he went back there. The Croatian doesn't have enough experience of English football. Pearson, he did great. He did okay a few games, but Cisco, I think he was let down by some players. That's why he went. But I think Pedro needs to have a fresh start with a decent manager who will know what he'll get the best out of him, with better players around him, especially with the 2 Brazilians who we've got. Play with a decent striker and Wilson, and That's all I've got to say.
Yeah, fair comment, mate. Just go back to what Mark said earlier on. If you do sell Pedro, as meant to say, if you sell Pedro, then it'd be worth 100 million. And Jim said, I must have read that. So that's be sorted. When it sells from Newcastle, then it'd be worth 100 million. So I stand corrected. Thanks, guys. Praying he's not going to be another Chris Wood signing, because we have to be honest, he's been awful. He hasn't even come through yet, and people are just got it wrong. I read it wrong. So they have lost Sarri and Pedro. They haven't lost Sarr yet. It's Dennis still there. Now he's off to Forest, mate. It's on Google, Twitter. I read it wrong. Rolla says 7-0. Hey, John and hey to you. Static. Guna. Hope you okay. Julian may be among top 10 centre mids in the league on conform. That is truly unexpected. Listen, Joe Linton has been absolutely brilliant so far this season. He really has, and I can't lie. Julian's man of the match on Sunday. Anthony and Joe being top. Since Eddie got hold of Joe, he's looked worth the money we paid for him. A couple more seasons, he'd be worth double. I tell you what, he'd be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Panel, I'm devastated for you guys. Newcastle should have won against City. Everyone was fantastic. ASN, Trippier, and wow, absolutely, mate. I mean, do you agree with that, Tony? We should have won that game yesterday. Do you think 3-1? Could have gone 4-1?
Could have done. We could have won it, but do you know what? When Stones took that quick corner, we weren't alert enough. We sort of fell asleep, if you know what I mean. And we let Haaland in. Had we stopped that corner and say kept that 3-1 for a good 10, 15 minutes, then yeah, we could have went on and won that game. But do you know what? I'm not going to complain, because we gave it a go and we drew 3-3. And like Pep Guardiola said, there are not many, he says, I'll tell you now, he says, teams are going to dread coming to St. James's Park to play Newcastle, he says, because we found out what it's like. And I'll tell you now, there won't be many teams in the Premier League who'll go toe-to-toe like we did against Man City yesterday. There'll only be the likes of probably Liverpool or, but there won't be many teams who will do what we've done against Man City, because they'll get absolutely hammered. I just thought we played absolutely well. And I've just got something to quickly show you on screen. And this guy, it's just a bit of he's from the Telegraph. Jason Burt.
Yeah.
And there it is now. He says, Watford have not accepted Newcastle's offer of 25 million for Joao Pedro. Yes, there are 5 million add-ons, but only if they constantly qualify for the Champions League. Newcastle need to offer more on Telegraph Football. This comes from the same guy who works alongside Luke Edwards. To be honest with you, I take that with a pinch of salt, because
nobody knows.
Why is everybody else saying it's gone through and then he's saying, "On it's 2 minutes past 7"? No, they haven't accepted it.
Like
it's
I said,
just crazy.
Like I said, Tony, right? I think Watford needs to come out and tell us. They need to come out officially and tell us, because at the end of the day, right, it's completely fancy on social media, right?
Yeah.
And you know what it is, right? It needs to be stopped at the end of the day. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? But one thing I'm going to say on this as well, if Watford asks for more money, then I'm sorry. Let's be real. I tell you now, they're going to pull out, because you're not going to get that stuff out. There's no way. Because I tell you what, we don't deserve that. Go on, Tony.
And while we're on the Joao Pedro, I'll just pull up. This is obviously this is from this season, but we'll go to the Premier League last season when he played in the Premier League, just for any people that are a bit doubtful of him. Yes, he's 25 foot 12, nearly 6 foot. Shirt number 10. Plays left wing or striker. So on his heat map here last season, most of it's predominantly left. Can do right, but he's more of a left-sided player. But then could that be a case of switching Maxi to the right with Trippier and playing him on the left? We shall see on that one. But, I mean, he only started 15 games last season out of 28 and scored 3 goals and 1 assist. But, it's at the end of the day, he played in the struggling Watford side. So people have got to understand that, and his average rating was 6.84 per game. But that will get better, and he's still young at the moment. So, you know, want to give the lad a chance. And we'll just look at his stats for this season so far in the Championship. Championship being a different level. Again, he's played more left than he has right. So he's more of a left-sided player with a right foot. But he's played 4 games, started all 4, scored 1 in the Championship. So, yeah. And I think that was the winner against West Brom, if I remember. But, yeah, he's not a bad player. So, you know, give the guy a chance, as I say. And let's see what happens from there.
Yeah, totally agree, man. And look, like I said, sort of thing, right? Nobody knows. I mean, we have to wait and see now because it's just frenzy at the minute in time. That is the thing. Burke, more like, that's some Billy. Romano's normally right. I hope so, Aaron. Episode about Billy, you're not kidding. I don't believe Talkshout, Edwards, or Burt both have opposite opinions, but both utter shite. I'd be more inclined to go with Queer Corp. Not done yet, but looking positive. Simple as that. Don't listen to Luke again. You know what I mean? I can't take this guy seriously. Now on Sky, MUTV transfer window show. Hey! Newcastle are playing to keep in mind Ollie Watkins at Villa. Ollie Watkins, did you take Ollie Watkins, Mason?
No.
Nah.
I think last season didn't play as well as people thought of. Obviously, he's got Danny Ings with him, who I think is a more better striker, because obviously I know he's been hammered by injuries, but he's still a good player. Obviously, it was a bit whirlwind when he went to Villa, because it came up the blue. But I think this is the season where Ollie Watkins at Villa needs to show up, or Steven Gerrard's just going to move him on.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Would I take Ollie Watkins? I'm not sure. He is a decent player, but I'm not sure we could do bigger than Ollie. No disrespect.
He's 26 anyway, John, now.
Yeah. I mean, they probably command about 45 million, 50 million for this guy, but he ain't worth that money, I'm afraid. I think Watford's trying to get Newcastle to pay extra. Well, good luck with that. At the end of the day, right? I'm not being funny, but he can get extra money for Israel Sarr. He can get extra money on Dennis as well, but he's gone too fast anyway. 30 mil for Pedro, early 20, nearly 21, and 45 million per Quetta. Then nearly job gone. Job done. And Manu happened to Ings after he joined Villa. He used great for Southampton. Gets too many injuries. That is the problem. He's going to talk to us about Kone from Rondy Gladbach, Tony. And he's been linked with us today for the first time. Don't know a lot about this guy whatsoever. I know he's a French on the 21 international, and he was out on loan to Toulouse after Mönchengladbach signed him up. He's a central midfielder. I don't know a great deal of this guy.
No, I don't. I've never, to be honest, John, I've not really heard of the guy much. Apart from he's a 21-year-old, 6'1" French player. But yeah, I don't know a great deal about him. So not too sure. But I mean, it's touted about 35 million for him. I think 35 million euros. So yeah, I've not really seen a lot of the. Well, I've not seen any of the guy, if I'm honest. So I don't know how he plays, and I've got his stats here. I'll quickly share them on the screen, and then just bear with me. Okay. There we go. So he's a Frenchman, 21. So again, doesn't take up a squad place. Project Youth, 6'1", midfielder, preferred foot right. So he plays defensive midfield and midfield centre. So this was league earned in 19 and 20, and he started 11 matches out of 13 totally played. Didn't score any goals, but he plays predominantly around there. He can play on the right. Looking at that as well. But we'll have a look what he's doing in the Bundesliga, as that's where he applies his trade now. This is this season, so this is his heat map so far in 3 games, and he started all 3 and played 89 minutes per game. He hasn't scored any goals. He's passing touches per game, 81 per game. Accurate per game is 59.7, which is 90% of accurate passes per game. So he's a good passer of the ball, John.
Yeah.
And especially in his own half, 93%. Opposition half, 87% accuracy. Long balls, 55% accuracy. Chip passes are 56% accuracy as well. So he's actually not a bad player. He seems to be a bit of a baller who can.
Yeah.
He's got good ball control, position and tackling. That's his strength, and he's got no outstanding weaknesses. Which for a player of that age, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
His last game he played, he got 6.7. But he played the full 90 minutes in that game against Hertha Berlin when they beat them.
Yeah.
He played against Schalke and 7.2, played 88 minutes in that game. So, yeah, so he basically plays full games for them. I don't know a lot about him, as I say, Kone, or Manu Kone, as I call him for short. But looking at his stats there, he doesn't look too bad, and like I say on the stats there, he's a good passer of the ball. So, yeah, anybody who's going to improve the squad, and we need somebody in midfield because Shelvey's out at the moment, so he could be the guy who comes in and does the Shelvey role, you know. And at 21, he's only going to get better. He's at that age where he can improve and improve dramatically. And again, playing alongside players like Bruno, he's going to learn a lot of players like that. So, yeah, to me, that's a no-brainer. So that's another one that we're linked with at the moment. So, yeah. Not bad at all.
Absolutely.
What do you think about him?
Thank you very much for those insights. Yeah, he looks a good player. He looks potential, young lad, and he's going to get better and better. And it could be a new Frank Kessie. You never know by the sounds of it. And who knows? I think if you offer for him sort of thing, then he might need a game. He might need a game season in Germany, and then hopefully next season we try getting there, and then we'll see. Thanks for that, Tony. Dribbling defensive midfielder, he's impressive. That's from Alex Paqueta, trending on Twitter just now, and his stats are in there as well. Some players don't fit at certain clubs. Ing seems to be an example. Pedro's just a sort of young lad to build with under Eddie. Hi to you, Alex, again. Hope you're okay. Kone sound. Have you watched him? Have you watched the Bundesliga, Aaron, mate? I mean, I don't watch it. I don't watch him at all. I don't watch it Bundesliga. Go on, Tony.
Sorry, let me give you an example, John. Okay, so that guy's just said, Kone is crap. Right, okay, fair enough. That's what his opinion is. Right. We signed Charles Nzogbia when he was a young lad. And he come from the French league. He was an unknown quantity. Nobody knew how he was. Came at the first team at Newcastle. Was absolutely brilliant. And then we sold him on. So that was all through Joe Kone. But he got sold on. He was a young lad who came in, like I say, unknown from France. Just a young lad. And look how well he did. We've had some young players come in from France and done really well. I mean, Haidara weren't too bad until he got that horrendous injury when Callum McManaman took him out against Wigan.
Did he?
Which he should have, which was discussed that tackle. But yeah, I mean, we've had some good French players come over. Olivier Bernard as well. He was another youngster who came in, and look how good he was. So I think to say Kone sounds rubbish, it's a bit much. Unless you actually watch the Bundesliga and you watch Mönchengladbach week in, week out, then you don't know much about this lad at all. So I suggest you have a look and see how he plays first. See if there's a live game on TV with Mönchengladbach playing, and then have a look and see. Then you can judge how he is. But looking at them stats, it looks like he's one hell of a baller. And even Alex is saying he destroyed Leipzig at the end of last season with 50 out of 53 passes. That's good stats in a way, and that's what I'm saying. This guy is good, and if it's 30 million, then yeah, he's worth every penny of it. But we shall see if we get him or not. But he could be the next Shelby for us.
Yeah, could be right. You could be right, mate. You could be right. Alex, got to agree with Alex as well.
And at 21, John, he's got years to develop. And the reason we're bringing all these youngsters in, and there's a trend now, if you look at it, all these young players we're looking at, because it's for the long term.
Exactly.
They're not coming in for the short term. They're coming here to be here for the next 5 or 6 years, to kick us on, to get us in the Champions League, to win us trophies, to hopefully win that Premier League one day. That's what we're doing. And that's how all, if you go back, I mean, I know you're going back to the class of 82, but you look at what Ferguson did.
Yeah.
Do you remember Alan Hansen on TV? You win nothing with kids. And what did Fergie do? Went and won the title with a bunch of kids.
Exactly.
So, it just shows it can be done.
Correct. Well said. Well said. Well said. And are we still in for a player for loan from Chelsea? Again, wait and see. I think Pulisic might be staying at Chelsea, by the way. Gallagher could be getting as well. Borja, I'm not too sure on him as well. Joe didn't get enough credit for the job he did last year in the 6 Aston Tony, 6 or 7 drops on CDM. Just drop for 5 minutes, say hello, and drop a like, Stephen. Thank you so much indeed. He's a big gooder, by the way. Sounds more like the new Frank Spencer. Okay, cool. I'll watch maybe 2 games last season of Mönchengladbach, but I was mainly watching Mbolo. I think he's I think he's in the French league. I could be wrong. And got one here from Newcastle, one Pepe and Valentin as I double read on Portuguese Giants Porto before the end of this transfer window. For me, they want about 170 million for the pair. That's not going to happen anytime soon. What do you think of Joao Pedro's signing Mr. Starter? I was chatting to Alex as well. He said he's loving it. And is he any good as Paqueta? Diary then? I shot me God. All about opinions, mate. So what do you think then? Talk about Paqueta, Mason. Can you see that deal happening? Yes or no?
Paqueta. It just depends, really. If a reliable source like Fabrizio Romano or Keith Downey, then if they put a official bid in, then I'll be happy if we get him, because I know he's Bruno's pal, but he's a really good midfielder. I know he didn't get much game time at EC, but when he's went to Leon, he's been a really good player in the heart of the midfield and playing in the good league. But I don't know if they've got any. I know the French league's been hit by financial problems, but I don't know if Leon have got financial problems themselves. But if they want the money, then when we'll just put the bid in what they want and just pay it, because he's a good player. I think he needs to have that chance in the Premier League. The same what Bruno did, and look what Bruno's turned out to be. And if Lucas Paqueta comes in and does the same, then we've got 3 quality Brazilian players in the heart of our midfield.
Yeah, fair enough. We've got to wait and see. We've got another 9 days to go, something like that. A week and 3 days for the Winter Slam shuts. And so we're going to wrap up very, very soon. So, so Pedro, are we going to get him, Tony? It looks like we're going to get him.
Yeah, looks very much so like he's the next one in by the looks of it. And we will see on the other players as well. I mean, thing is, we've got till the 1st September. I think we're doing the right thing, because what we're doing is we're waiting till the last week or 2 of the transfer window to do deals, because this is when you start getting players that are a little bit cheaper, because clubs want to move them on. So they'll be panicking to get these players out the club. So that's where deals start getting done and coming down. And I'm going to put this on screen, John, because I'm naming and shaming this person again. Okay. You've already done it as well. Again, our owners are being tagged yet again, John. And it's just getting beyond the joke now. And this person really needs to stop doing it. Ollie Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm sick of all the interested in and offers. Come on, guys, get these players in. Not long, we want 3 more, and he's tagged Miadad and Jamie in that.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, I just don't
Sorry,
think
she has, not he.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see it from me as well. Why do it, Holly? Please, please don't do it, Holly. You know, just let it take its course, man. Do you know what I mean? So I can see it from me as well. Not good, not good.
I mean, the
Just
thing is,
drop it,
that's
man.
the type of thing. That's the type of thing where one day our owners might say, "Do you know what? Let's sell the club and get out of here because we're sick of this." And that's what we don't want to happen. These owners are here. These are serious players. These owners, especially the Saudis,
Yeah,
they don't want to play second fiddle. They want success, and they will get success. All Saudis get success. So stop tagging your owners, please. It's not right. It's embarrassing. It's getting beyond the joke now. The club are doing everything they can. It can't be helped if you can't get this deal in or that deal in, because it's not down to the club itself. It's down to the selling club, whether they want to sell or not. So stop tagging owners. Trust the process. Be patient.
thank you, Tony. Thank you so much indeed. We're gonna rattle out these comments before we're gonna wrap up, because I'll be on PD Panlosh's channel at 8 o'clock for the preview. I'd rather have the Paqueta than Madison because the chemistry with other Brazilians, including Pedro. And leave a like on your mags and maggots. Thank you, Tony the Red. Been a great show again today, John. Thank you, Gia. I need to get his first name, by the way, but he sounds a good guy. Paqueta is a quite good friend of Bruno.
Could be a woman, John.
It could well be. It could well be. Paqueta, Shelby, Pulisic on the reach. Pedro for Wilson when he's knackered or injured, for that matter. On those all about pens, but behaving like a small brat and tagging the owners is a joke. Tony, you're absolutely right, mate. Totally agree. The owners ignore these, you know what you mean. And there you go. Well, we're going to wrap up there, guys. A bit of an hour sort of thing. I know I've got to go on someone else's PD Panlosh's channel. Mason, can you tell us where you can find you, please? And yeah.
Mason Ford on Twitter. And if you give me a follow, I'll follow you back.
Thank you, Tony. Where can you find you, mate?
Yep, so you can find me down there at TonyTooney31. Give me a follow and I'll follow you back.
Thank you very much indeed. And you find us on the socials as well in the chat, then you know what it's on about. Casemiro's on the pitch at United, so good luck on that one as well. And if you like the video, like what you see, then please have the honor to click a like and subscribe as well, people, and also hit the $sign if you like to become a member. Also, by the way, I say it again, I'm doing a competition to win a match ticket, the game between Newcastle and Bournemouth. Yeah, to enter, you have to join as a member for 99p. Then I will get you in. And if you like to hit the super chats, then just give what the channel's worth. Just click on the $sign. It's up to you. And that's all there is to it. That's all you got to do. As simple as that. And another great show. Thanks, Davey. And thank you for Tony the Red. And just for you to go, it takes just the one, doesn't it? It just takes
I've
one.
seen the comment.
Listen,
well said, Alex.
John, look at Foxy's as well.
Yeah. The one thing I'm going to say about Casemiro, that guy is a champion. He won everything in the book, right? Except for the World Cup, obviously. But I think he's just the sort of player United needs right now. Do you know what I mean? I think, for me personally, I'd say it's a good signing. I think it's a very good signing. But for 60 million quid sort of thing, people are saying that to Man United is a retiring home. For me personally, I think that could be a slap in the face for a few people, but hey ho.
The problem with Casemiro is, unfortunately, now he's joined the side that's in a relegation zone. I don't suppose he wanted to go and win the World Cup in Qatar anyway, so I don't think he's that bothered now, is he? Because he's obviously given up his World Cup place now, hasn't he?
Yeah. I still think he get a World Cup team.
He will do.
He get a World Cup because he's their best midfielder. Do you know what I mean? He's one of the best midfielders in the world. And
Manu could still be bottom then.
He's gonna be. I'm gonna put this down one more time, right? For keep Alice happy. There you go. Has Castro got a relegation clause in his contract? We don't know. And to be honest with you, you need to ask Mason that question tomorrow. Guys, you're out there. Thanks so much for that, guys. You know what to do. And thanks for joining in. Leave your comment in the section down below and talk to us about Pedro, talk about Kone, and other things to chat about Newcastle as well. And I should be seeing back tomorrow for the Premier League Roundup show. Me, Macy, and Tony. And that's going to be fun as well. Maybe get a Macy rant as well. And until then, guys, and it's goodbye for now. And have a fantastic evening. Take care.
Take care, everyone.